My daughter suddenly stopped wanting to visit me, and eventually I realized someone was helping her hate me. After my divorce, my ex-wife and I shared custody of our daughter Emma. At first, things were surprisingly peaceful. Not friendly exactly, but manageable. Emma spent 1 week with me, 1 week with her mom. And for a while it worked. She was still excited to come over. We had routines, movie nights, pancakes on Saturdays, little traditions that made everything feel normal again. Then slowly something changed. At first it was subtle. She became quieter when she arrived. Less talkative, less affectionate. I assumed it was just the divorce catching up emotionally, which would have been understandable. But then she started saying strange things. Small comments that didn't sound like they came from a child. Like one evening, while I was making dinner, she casually asked, "Why didn't you want to stay married to mommy?" I remember stopping completely, because that wasn't what happened. My ex-wife had cheated. Emma didn't know details, obviously, but she definitely knew I wasn't the one who left. So I carefully said, "Why would you think that?" And she shrugged. Said, "Mom says you stopped loving us." Us. That word hit me harder than anything else, because suddenly I realized this wasn't confusion. Someone was rewriting the story for her. Still, I tried to stay calm. Didn't confront my ex. Didn't start a fight. Because the last thing I wanted was to drag Emma into adult problems. But over the next few months, it got worse. Emma stopped wanting to come over as often. Stopped answering my calls enthusiastically. Everything felt distant. Then one weekend, she asked if she could leave early. When I asked why, she quietly said, "I think mommy gets sad when I'm here too long." I genuinely felt my chest tighten hearing that. Because no child should feel responsible for managing a parent's emotions. That night, after Emma went to sleep, I sat alone in the kitchen replaying every conversation in my head. Every strange comment. Every guilty expression. And suddenly, the pattern became impossible to ignore. This wasn't accidental. My ex-wife wasn't directly telling Emma to hate me. She was doing something worse. Making our daughter feel guilty for loving me too. So the next week, I finally confronted her. Calmly, I told her Emma had been saying concerning things. And immediately she got defensive. Said I was overreacting. That Emma was just sensitive. Then she said something that honestly told me everything. She said, "Well, maybe if you'd been a better husband, things would be different. Not better father. Husband." Like she couldn't separate our failed marriage from my relationship with my daughter. And that's when I realized something terrifying. Some people are so hurt by losing a relationship. They'll damage their own child just to avoid feeling abandoned alone. So I started documenting everything. Got Emma into therapy. Fought quietly instead of emotionally. Because at that point, this stopped being about my ex-wife entirely. It became about protecting my daughter from carrying emotions that never belonged to her in the first place.